Today we're going to move on into chapter 5. So chapter 5, we're going to start out by classifying triangles, and we can do so by their angles and by their sides. So let's first classify triangles by their angles. So this first triangle we have 3 acute angles. So whenever we see the word acute, we're thinking less than 90 degrees. So it is an acute triangle. Acute means less than 90 degrees. And let's move on to the second one. We have one obtuse angle. Whenever we see the word obtuse, this means we have an angle that is greater than 90 degrees. And it would be an obtuse triangle. Okay, now this third triangle, this is going to be a very common triangle that you're going to see. So one right angle. Hopefully you remember when we talked about the little box in the corner. Whenever you see the little box in the corner, that means that you have exactly 90 degrees. And so this is a right triangle. This last triangle, we have 3 congruent angles. So that little half circle in the corner, we talked about this in previous chapters. Whenever you see that, that means that each one of those angles is congruent or equal. So because of this, it is an equiangular triangle. Okay, so now let's talk about classifying triangles by their sides. So the first one down there, we have 3 congruent sides. So the word congruent, equal, each one of those tick marks means that each side is congruent. So we've seen this before in previous chapters, so hopefully this is review. So whenever we have 3 congruent sides, we have an equilateral triangle. So equal meaning equal, lateral meaning side, equal side. And a nice little thing about the equilateral triangle, if all sides are equal, all angles will also be equal. Next, we have 2 congruent sides. So if we just have 2 congruent sides, this means that we have an isosceles triangle. If 2 sides are equal, 2 angles will also be equal. The next triangle, we don't really know very much about this triangle. We don't know anything about the angles. We don't know anything about the side lengths. So it is a scalene triangle. If no sides are equal, no angles will be equal either. Okay, so now next we're going to use this information, and just keep in mind that I am going to go a little bit fast and that you can pause the video at any time if you need to catch up. Okay, so this first page we're going to classify each triangle by its angles and by its sides. So the first one, we have that little box in the corner, which whenever we see that, we know that that means that angle is 90 degrees. So if I were to classify by the angle, it would be a right triangle. Next, I see 2 little tick marks, which means that 2 sides are congruent. Whenever I have 2 sides that are congruent, each triangle with 2 sides that are congruent is isosceles. So this is a right isosceles triangle. Okay, this next one, we have an angle measurement of 114 degrees. So we know that this is greater than 90 degrees, so it's an obtuse angle. So if we were to classify by the angle, it would be obtuse triangle. Okay, now we don't know anything about the sides. We don't know if any of them are congruent or anything. It doesn't give that information to us. We can't just assume. So by the sides, it's a scalene. So this is an obtuse scalene triangle. Okay, go ahead and pause the video, and I'm confident that you could do the next one on your own. Okay, hopefully you paused the video and you found that each one of those angle measurements is the same, which would mean that this is an equiangular triangle, and all of those sides are the same as well, which would mean it is equilateral as well. So remember, a good shortcut here is if we know that it's equilateral, we know that it's equiangular as well. So this is an equiangular equilateral triangle. Next, we're going to use this information of classifying triangles in a coordinate plane. So we want to classify the triangle OPQ by its sides. Then we're going to determine whether or not it's a right triangle. So if we were to graph this, it looks something like this. If you don't have graph paper, that's okay. Just do your best to sketch this out as best you can. So this is my graph of the triangle OPQ. And first, we are going to use the distance formula to find the side lengths. Because we don't know anything about the lengths of the sides, we have to use something in order to find those side lengths so that we can classify it by the sides. We can't just assume anything. We can't eyeball it. That angle in the corner looks like it might be a triangle or a right angle, but we can't know for sure unless we actually prove it. So we're first going to use the distance formula to find the side lengths. So again, our distance formula is that. So I will always give you the formulas. I don't think that you should have to memorize them. So here's the distance formula. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to plug in our points and find the distance between the 2 points. So let's start with OP. This will give us the square root of -1 minus 0 squared plus 2 minus 0 squared, which can be simplified to the square root of -1 squared plus 2 squared, which can further be simplified to the square root of 5, which is approximately 2.2. And again, if I am going too fast, just please feel free to pause the video at any time, and you can kind of go through this as you're on your own pace. Okay? So next, let's find the distance between PQ. So this will give us the square root of 6 minus -1 squared plus 3 minus 2 squared, which whenever we're subtracting a negative, remember that we're adding. So this will simplify to 7, or the square root of 7 squared plus 1 squared, which simplifies further to 50, or the square root of 50, and further to approximately 7.1. Okay, now what I want you to do is find the distance between OQ on your own and compare your answers with what I did. Okay, hopefully you paused the video and you found the distance between OQ, and hopefully your math matches mine. And you should get the square root of 45, which is approximately 6.7. Okay, so now if we're looking at all of those values that we found for the distance, none of them are congruent. So whenever we have side lengths that are not congruent, this means that we have a scalene triangle. Okay, so now we're going to check for right angles using slope. So our slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we're going to first find the slope between O and P. So if I were to plug in our values here, I'd get 2 minus 0 over -1 minus 0, which simplifies further to 2 over -1, or 2 divided by -1, which is just -2. Okay, now let's solve for our slope for PQ. If I were to plug in our values, I would get 3 minus 2 over 6 minus -1, giving me 1/7. Okay, go ahead and pause the video again and solve for your last slope. All right, so hopefully you pause the video and you're finding the slope between OQ to be 3 minus 0 over 6 minus 0, which is 3/6, which simplifies further to 1/2. So now what we want to do is see, are any slopes that we found opposite reciprocal slopes? So an opposite reciprocal slope tells us whether or not we have perpendicular lines. So if we do have perpendicular lines, this means that where those perpendicular lines meet, we have 90-degree angles. So that can tell us if we have a right angle. Okay? So if we look, -2 and 1/2, those are opposites and they are also reciprocals. So this angle right here is a 90-degree angle, so it is a right triangle. So since -2 and 1/2 are opposite reciprocals, the distance of OP is perpendicular of PQ, so triangle OPQ is also a right triangle. So we know it's scalene and we know it's a right triangle, so that means that triangle OPQ is a right scalene triangle.